Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, sorry for that. I think my sound was so bad, and we are back now. Hey, good morning. I can see Kayuyu is here. I can see Steve is here. Good morning. How are you doing? It's a very beautiful morning. Today is the 31st of July. Actually, the July is ending, and now we are going to August. There are a lot of things that really happened from yesterday, and a lot of things happened. Remember, yesterday we end the interest rate at 9 p.m. We end unemployment. We end some news, and this week is actually full of news. Tomorrow again we have NFP, and so on. Now, as you can tell from this market, a lot of things happening, and there is something that we mentioned yesterday about the market shifting. So you remember we said that gold prices are indeed shifting. Gold is shifting, and what we mean by shifting, we mean that gold is shifting. Remember, we have been trading from this trend line where the market was actually, we were buying. I mentioned this yesterday. We are buying, and every lower prices that we are getting, we were buying because the market was actually on the upper trend. Yesterday we were waiting to see whether there is that's why we wrote this something here. We were waiting to see whether there is a breakout that is going to be happening around 34. At least we are waiting to see, because this region was already touched so many times. So I was waiting to see whether we can get a breakout point to answer this area here, and this line here was a real breaker that you can see here, because once we break out this, it means the prices are going to move even lower prices, even lower and lower and lower, and that is what exactly happened. Now the market did not really comes to this point here. I had placed a small trend here which actually ended around this 24 here. Now look at what really happened to this market, because it moved all the way to 67. There is a gap that we created here, because we said the market is shifting and is moving down, of which is actually going to probably continue and move to the zones that we drew yesterday. There is a zone we drew you here yesterday. You remember this zone? We are talking about this area. This might actually be the landing point of the last price the gold is actually maybe going to test, probably before even we come back maybe to that 3 again. That is the price that we might be getting now. The gold moving probably to that 170, that 150, around this area here. That is the price that we might be getting, and you can see after this breakout here, that is obvious. As you can see, it's very clear the price actually broke towards the downside, and that is what really happened. And what caused this is, we started by saying that anytime the prices for the gold was actually touching this trend that you see here above, like the one that you can see here, like the prices higher of 34, that one, the prices were actually moving down, and this one so many pips actually. You can see also this just moved, and actually I think it just tested this region here. I think it tested this zone that you see here. This is just zone that was tested, and that's why you see now the prices are now just reversing. But there's a possibility that will actually keep even breaking this, and probably prices moving down. That is what we might be seeing probably next week or some weeks just to come. That is what I really anticipate from this. The prices are really shifting, and as you can see from this area here, the market is indeed moving. And after the rejection that we got yesterday from this, waiting for the breakout that did not happen, then there is still high probability that this market, I want you to see these candles that are being formed here on the daily time frame, so that you can observe this carefully. Now look at where the price is. We at that 308 right now. The prices, the gold is actually very volatile at the moment, as you can tell from these prices here. Now look at this. We are actually here. We are here. We are here again. We are here again. We are here again. Now we are here again, and you can tell from this the prices are still moving down, because I think this candle that you see rising here is actually trying to cover at least 50 of these, and that is what really happened. There's something that happened yesterday about the daily time frame. When we are really considering the highest time frame and lowest time frame, look at this candle that closed here. This was actually rejecting the same point that we were talking about, this trying to move, but this, instead of actually closing above like 34 that we were talking about, these prices actually was rejected around 33, and that's why we wrote this area as high rejection point, and that is what you normally see here. Now another deal breaker that we might be having is the same price, because we have 33, but here we are going to have at least above here, so I expect at least this price not to move above 13, 14, 15. So 15 here, expect at least this price to test those points before we get back. So this is the highest probably account might be getting, and probably now we are going to move towards the downside, because as you can see, it's very clear from this market, just as it proceeds to move down, this is a very strong bearish move that is happening, and as you can tell from this, the shift is already happening, and we might be getting lower prices, because already we don't have really a very clear landing point. So let's see how these prices are going to react around this zone that I've drew here, because now the rejection, you see this region that I've drawn here is going to be very vital, especially when you go to the lowest time frame, like the 4-hour time frame, maybe lower time frame like 1 hour, so we can sit still, observe how the candles are really going to be formed here when the market comes around here. Already we are already at this zone, so when this price comes to this point, and you're going to see some rejection and prices and the candles start showing you the signs of moving down, then actually this is actually going to be a good point now to short this market, probably moving all the way down. And as you can see now, the only place I think the prices have gone might actually be going is what we be getting that 163 all the way down there, and the prices actually might be considering to move even further down. And I said one thing, that you have to be very careful with gold. Every time we are getting the shift, every time, I want to repeat this again, every time we have the market shift happening, like the change of character, like the market coming from uptrend and then we are going to the downtrend, especially in gold, it's very cunning, sometimes very cunning. So you have to be very careful when you are doing all those things. You have to be very careful, because you can be thinking that the market is going to go up, but it proceeds to move down, and you think it's going up, but the market actually continues to the same shift and continues to move down. So sometimes when we are experiencing those things around this shift, because you can see this was actually our break point, this area here, and you can see now the market is indeed so much determined now to continue moving down just like this. Look at this, the price is now moving down. Now that's why I'm saying probably 33.19 here might be the maximum that we'll be getting before now the prices probably now start moving down towards creating another low that we might be getting, because already we have achieved a great result. We have already achieved very great result of higher prices from market moving from that 269, and you can see just almost $45 up, and that's why now we might be getting a testing point towards the downside. That is what I expect this market probably to do at the end of the day, or maybe next week. That is what might be happening to the prices of the gold. But we'll be analyzing the news that will be coming up. I want to, from tomorrow we'll be live for NFP. So tomorrow we'll be live for NFP news, so that we can see what we can do there. Again, there's some news here like core PCE price index, all those that use. We have another ones that 3:30 p.m. East African time. All those are high impact news, and also tomorrow high impact news. On the side of JPY, we are trading JPY. The rates are today was around 5:50 a.m. Yeah, but just remained the same. the statement. Probably if you open that, you're going to see some moves at that time, how the market was moving. So if you are live at that time, just look at this, how the market was moving. I think that's like how many hours? Like 5 hours. Like 5 hours. Like 5 hours ago. How the market will just reacting to this. I think it is between these two candles that we can see from this market. But as long as you know how to analyze, if you analyzed well, I think there's no problem with that. Yeah, so that's what I'm expecting to see from the prices of gold shifting. And now I might be focusing more on the downside move. This is going to prove us if you are going to be getting these prices here and the price react from this point, at least you achieved around 32.86, then that is a really proof that we might even be moving and creating even lower prices than even that one. Yeah, that is what I see. Already we saying the prices are shifting, and that is the shift that be happening for a long time. So it's always going to prepare for a long time. Sometimes through the past 2 weeks, I've been not really been trading gold so much. I've not been trading gold really, because of what has been happening. Just waiting to see a clear shift just happening to this market, and when it's confirmed, then we just proceed. Of which now I think things are starting to be clear, and now when things are really clear here, the market becomes easy. Everything becomes easy. Everything just becomes tradable. And now the market becomes so easy to trade. Aruna, good morning too. How are you doing? It's 10:54 a.m. Here in 254. Yeah, in 254. So today I just decided to come just back live very early. I think it's because of the zone that we have here, to see how the prices are really going to be reacting when we already here. And yeah, so let's see how it's going to be reacting from this zone. That is important here, but we give it a maximum of 19. We give it a maximum of 19 around 20th here. So that is why I expect the prices to move and get lower prices from that point. That is so important for the traders. That is important thing to note. How canny? We are going to really to try, and it's just canny, but still, that is now the season. That season. If you have been trading for many years, you must understand that. If you have been trading for many seasons, you need to understand there is time to keep off and observe the market until you confirm, and there is time to keep putting money in all the time. There's time to trade all the time, because everything will be right, high probability. And there is time just to observe, because when we have the shift, I tell you, I want to use that one again. When you have the shift, things normally becomes crazy. Until now, because you can think the market actually broke out, kumbe it was just a false breakout. Yeah, you have seen the market actually creating the false breakouts, and those things are very crazy when you just see them. So that is what I expect at least to see, maybe probably at the end of the day, or maybe from tomorrow. But remember, we have the news again at 3:30. So probably that is going to change. And mostly I want you to observe the gold prices, because from 3:30 around that, when we have at least New York session, actually from that time, things now start becoming crazy. Things now start becoming crazy from those points. Those are the point to observe, and I think we might be getting there. Although even lower prices than with what we got today, probably at the end of the day. Yeah, so that is it. That is very simple things to just observe from the market. Early, I know some people will be looking for me at the 11 a.m. Just let's give them some few minutes. They'll be joining us, and then from there we can just close these, so that we can give them a very quick summary on what might be happening here. Then we are closing this. Yes, yes. So you can see this. These are 4 hour time frame candles. Okay, 11 a.m. I think there's another one that is opening here. Probably is going to. You can see it is still moving. So everything. The reason I normally check on the 1 hour time frame is because I normally check candles before my entry. So much. You have to check and confirm before you actually enter. You cannot say that because the market touched here, then you sell. That is crazy. You just wait until you confirm what you are getting. I'll tell you what you can actually consider. For example, if you see the market, for example, let's say this candle was full here, and then this forms something just like this. When it goes down below this, then what you just have to do is wait for another candle probably to open from this area here, and you do this. You wait at least for it to come almost probably half of this, and then the good point becomes when you actually sell from here. So candles normally plays vital roles, especially when you're looking for 1 hour time frame. They will give you a very nice entry, but don't go below 1 hour time frame. They'll actually confuse you so badly. Let's see. I want to see something here. Yeah, I already told you that I think so many people are liquidating here. Like so many people lost a lot of money. Because I've been checking also on my other PC here, I can see there was so many orders, many thousands of orders, lots that were actually being placed around 33, 38, 43. Yeah. I think this was actually a very bad surprise to so many people. If you actually see that, there are so many people who in place their orders above their 33.43, and that was crazy. That was majority in here. Now, what you can actually observe from this point is just wait for an upward move, of which actually might be happening to this place here. I think it's going to push because you can see still we have the room to move because this market is still moving up. As you can see, this kind already closed above. All this market is still moving up. There's no clear sign for reversal that is going to be happening, but we might be getting one there. So when I say and draw something just like this, even before you enter, don't just go and do some funny lines on your PC and think that when the price touches those points, then is when you're going to sell. No, there are a lot of things that you have to observe when the market actually come to those zones, because market can actually touch those points and then we avoid the trade, because that is the area to check. But when market comes to those points, now you just check, you just look for more details things to see how the market is going to react. And we are talking about 10 and 13, so probably that is the area that we are going to move. News time will be coming back again so that you can try and do something. Today I think I'm so fixed, so tomorrow let's try and see what we can do, or maybe later in the day I'll be joining this. So make sure that you subscribe and turn on notification bell so that when I come back again, we actually might be doing something even more detailed so that we can increase the accuracy for the gold. And we're going to do it, so make sure that you join, because I'm going to share something also new that I normally check before my entries, and some analysis maybe even deeper than that. And we are going to see what we can do for this. Okay, all right. So let me see you again later. Thank you so much for those who have joined this. Then those who commented, like Varuna, Petro, and Steve, Miriam, thank you so much for this. And for those who have liked this video, thank you very much, and I'll see you later again after this.